Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It happened again, which is, and I said it will, and I think this is not surprising news, which is the Ukrainians again successfully attacked Moscow with drones. Now, obviously, the Ukrainians say, well, we don't know what happened. The Russians claim that the drone attacks were thwarted. The fact is, we have here videos and pictures of the damage, and you can assess for yourself if that was thwarted or it was a successful attack. Regardless if it was thwarted or not, the attack destroyed a building or a few at least. It depends on who you are watching or listening to. So let's go and start. I got about 4 or 5 articles saying the same thing, kind of, with a little variation. So let's go with the Russians first, because I think they're just... Anyway, let's go and see. Sputnik. Ukraine terrorist drone attack on Moscow thwarted. Russian Defense Ministry. So an attempt was made by the Kiev regime overnight to launch a terrorist attack in Moscow using 3 drones, decided the Russian Defense Ministry informed on Sunday. So on the morning of July 30th, which is Sunday, an attempt of a terrorist attack by the Kiev regime using unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, on objects in the city of Moscow was thwarted. One Ukrainian UAV was destroyed in the air by air defense over the territory of the Odintsovsky district of the Moscow region. 2 more drones were suppressed by means of electronic warfare and, having lost control, crashed on the territory of Moscow City non-residential building complex. The ministry said non-residential building complex. So this is what they say. We go to these guys here and says Daily Beast. Explosions rock Moscow and brazen early morning drone attack. This is a picture of it, but I have videos as well. So several explosions, this guy say, rocked Moscow early Sunday morning in a drone attack that damaged a skyscraper, left at least 1 person injured, and shut down local airspace, according to local reports. Alright, that's another one. An overnight drone attack in Moscow injures 1 and temporarily closes an airport. So this is the thwarted attack, okay? Right here, this is how a thwarted attack of a drone looks like. Anyway, the same thing here. And then the other one is an overnight drone attack. They have pictures, but I get the... Right here, I have videos here. So let's see. There's some sound. I will suppress the sound because I don't know what these guys are saying. And I know YouTube to feel that you need some protection, if you know what I mean. So you don't hurt your brain or something. So there's some pictures, but then we got more damage here. The base damage up here. And let's go and see. Yes, this big building was hit in here, and another one down there somewhere. Well, did you know Moscow has skyscrapers? Well, if you didn't, now you know. All right, let's start with this one here. Actually, let's put the audio here because I listened to this one and you can hear the explosion. Ready, Teddy, Freddy? Ready, set, go. Oh, this already occurred? Okay, no problem. You want to play like that? You want to play like that? Then we're going to show you how it's done. All right. Let's go to again. And probably it's just, I have to put up with all this BS. All right. Jesus Christ, superstar. And they want the commercial. I love when they give me that BS. Anyway, ready? All right, now we got it. So that was a thwarted. You want to hear it again? Let's go again with these losers. All right. Come on, commercial, come on, right there. Jesus Christ, go. All right, so that's what it was there. And then this is another one that some people just driving. right there. Most well, let me put the sound down because I don't know what I'm going to say next. You never know with these guys. Not with videos, but with people in charge of us. That's another one. Okay, and I think this is what they say, the new voice of Ukraine, but I'm not going to read that because they say, well, nothing happened, the two facades, you saw the consequences, not this. Let's read what? Maybe this guy, let's see what they say there. I think it's, see what the Ukrainians are saying, because they say Ukrainian drones allegedly attacked Moscow again. Photos and videos. Okay, we got that. Two large blasts hit the Moscow city business district of the Russian capital overnight on July 30th, apparently from drone attacks, causing damage to two office buildings, halting traffic and temporarily shutting down one of Moscow's airports. The attack on the Russian capital was carried out by, quote-unquote, Ukrainian drones, Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin claimed earlier on July 30th. During the night, an attack by Ukrainian drones was carried out. Okay, well, that's what it is. They don't have much details. Let's analyze this a little bit. How would you feel, how safe would you feel if drones just fly over your city? And I'm not talking about only Ukrainians, Russians, we talk about the Ukrainians as well, even though the Ukrainians have been experiencing this for a year and a half. So the fact that these drones are capable of being thwarted like that and causing damage, that creates panic, creates terror. Well, that's the intent. I don't think those drones were supposed to create too much damage. Now, if those are, you say, what I'm talking about? Well, have you seen it was, like a corner of a building hit? Okay, I would expect the whole building to fall down or something. That would have been like, oh my God, But here it was as it was. Was that thwarted? Like it was a boom, or it was clunk straight in it. I don't know. The Russians claim that they used the electronic warfare, jamming machines or whatever to get them down. Well, I don't know. I showed you the videos. The fact is, the Ukrainians can hit Moscow, and they will be able to hit it more and more and more. And I'm not waiting for these little UAVs. I'm waiting for the Ukrainians to up their game. Not that I'm waiting because I want to see it, but it's going to be a natural course of events, which is they will send missiles. And then what? Because a missile and a UAV is a little bit two different animals over there. And those missiles will hit stuff, not like this little thing. We'll find out. Maybe these little things are harder to destroy. I don't even know how far they were, where they were launched from. Were they launched from the Ukrainian territory? Were they launched from the Russian territory? I don't know how big they were. They don't give us this information. But I'm waiting for those Soviet-made, the ones in the 1970s, the ones that hit the Engels 2 airport. Remember the airfield with strategic bombers. It was about 500 kilometers from the border with Ukraine. And I'm waiting for those guys to inspect Moscow. And they will. I don't think they will use Storm Shadow, because they say, well, we're not going to use the British, or I think the Germans talk now sending their Taurus missiles over there. They will. I mean, it's just a matter of time. The Americans, if they're going to send longer range missiles to reach Moscow, then they will not use it. But guess what? These guys, the Ukrainians said, well, we just, what they call it, innovated they developed, created their first long-range missile system. So that means that probably they're going to use it. So when they're going to hit Moscow, when they're going to hit Moscow with a missile, 1, 2, or 3, or 10, The Russians will say, well, it was Western supplied weapons. And the Ukrainians said, hey, didn't you read the articles about having our domestic ones now? And you say, yeah, okay, well, that's for idiots, okay? But hey, is it impossible? No, but I think it's going to be a little coincidence. You don't develop something in, 5 months, 7 months, 1 year of war. Not impossible, but if you have the technology already available, you just, put a stamp made in Ukraine instead of made in United States of America. So when they're gonna hit Moscow with missiles, they will say it's our domestic missiles, it's not the Western supplied. And the Russians will say, yeah, okay, we believe you. And it's not about what the Russians believe, it's about what these guys are convinced. And these guys are. This is how the matters are, at the level of a 13-year-old child. So if you read the news, that's the level, or the movies, the Hollywood movies, that's the level targeted. They are made at a 13-year-old brain. I'm not saying that, they say that. Why? Because they don't want to be complicated. They don't want to force people to go to school when they watch a movie. They want to be entertained by, don't have, oh my God, I'm lost, I'm goddammit movie, let's go home. They don't want that. They want to sell the product, so they want to make it lower. And what, they're going to lose intellectuals like you and I? They don't care about us because we're just, the 1% of the... we're just, they don't care about people who will say, what is going on with this movie, man? They insult our intelligence. It's not meant for you. Just go, give us the money back. Here is your money back, actually. So anyway, successful, I would say, even if they didn't hit the intended target, the psychological effects of these guys being able to hit Moscow or fly over Moscow, get to Moscow, that's enough. The mission is accomplished. And the citizens will be panicked and will demand Putin does something else. So what could Putin do? A lot of things. The problem is, what is he going to do? But then he's saying, well, democracy, the will of the people, they want me to use them. And it's not going to happen unless they get really, really desperate. And I don't see it yet getting to that level. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.